You just mentioned how you just saw how the Argentine national team, the Argentines were able to just bring so many studs off the bench deep into the contest, and that is an idea as to how difficult things might be for the U.S. team to catch up. What about Spain throwing a 17-year-old kid out there barely 2 days into being 17? How remarkable is Yamal, Taylor? Can you walk me through how we can see this? I mean, my son is about to turn 16, and my wife and I are wondering how we're going to give him a learner's permit. You know what I mean? For real, it's crazy.
Rich, I think about when I was 16, calling a girl's house to try to talk to a girl, and the older brother, the dad answers, and I'm just like, kind of need to change my underwear, and this guy's playing in the European Cup final. So it's very difficult to try to grasp. Here's what I'll say, and I believe in positive energy and manifestation.
Sure.
To think that he and his parents took him to Barcelona, took a picture with Lionel Messi when he was 4 months old, and that picture's been floating around the internet, and his parents saying to Messi and anyone that want to listen, my son's going to play for Barcelona one day. And I love that story more than anything. And the reason why is because when you watch him play, he is not overwhelmed. He is completely in the moment. He's completely in the essence of the competition. He's scoring an unbelievable goal in the semifinal. And then the final comes, and he's completely content on who he is. He's 17. He recently just 16 scoring goals. So the point being, Rich, Spain, the last 20 years, 3 European championships, a World Cup. They've won 10 of the last 20 Champions Leagues. They've won a Women's World Cup. And I'd argue they've completely changed the way you've looked at the game. I'm not going to sit here and pump my chest up, but I am going to tell you, before the tournament started, I chose Spain. And the biggest reason why is that golden generation was done. And so these 17-year-old kids that grew up watching arguably the greatest national team of the world, 2008 to 2012, Spanish national team that won 2 Euros and a World Cup, they were all gone. So now they had a chip on their shoulder, but they're playing different. Yamal's different. He's got a verticality to his game. They're not 1,000 passes to death, knocking it around, tiki-taka. They can play a little bit more explosive. They were as good of a team as I've watched, and I'm not sure you're ever going to see another team go to Euros, play 7 games, and win all 7.
What are the English thinking today?
This is just what the English do, isn't it? Isn't it?
Well, I mean, guess they would have lost. They would have lost in penalty kicks if you really want to go the ultimate here, as opposed to giving up a late goal after getting the equalizer out of nowhere. But
Rich, it's a great question. Think about it. Wayne Rooney, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, that Paul Scholes, that golden generation, they never made a final. What is this? 3 finals out of the last 4 major tournaments, or at least some, whatever it is. Gareth Southgate has been criticized for being boring. I've been one of those, but he's been effective. But that picture you're showing right there, Harry Kane's been in some massive games. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 6 finals in his career. 0 goals, 0 assists. He has more yellow cards than shots on goal. And that's difficult because any goal scorer will tell you, me being one of them, when you get to that game, do you have the extra 5%? 10% that moment. I think Harry Kane has been a fantastic player, but I think the English media is always going to look at him and say, in the biggest games, where was he? And I think that's unfortunate, but I think that's also part of the Gareth Southgate system of kind of playing a little reserved versus trying to blow the doors off the thing and trying to win the game 3-2 or 2-1.
I'd love to see Argentina play Spain now, but that's called a World Cup, right? So what if they did play one another, and let's say Messi's ankle didn't look like it had a softball in the middle of it, who would win?
I like Spain. I just think you give them an extra 18 months before this World Cup comes, buddy. I just listen, if they played tomorrow and everyone was fit, I think Argentina would try to make it a very ugly game. And I think it's difficult. Spain technically is just superior to any other team in the world, and they understand their identity. Make no mistake about it. They've got a couple weaknesses. Defending in transitions, one of them, where Argentina thrives. I just love the way Spain played. Again, 7 Euro games, they won all 7. There's no draws in there. There's no slippy, weird moments. They were definitive, and they blew the doors off the thing. And I just think in 2 years from now, they could come to the United States and win the World Cup.
Yeah, Yamal might be shaving by then. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.